growing up who is so enthusiastic. She loves singing. You know, whatever comes on TV, she just breaks out and she's just like alive. And I was seeing the things that she was watching, you know, the things that were inspiring her, what she was looking at, what she was hearing. Then I saw that there's actually a disconnect there. She wasn't actually getting the fullness of who she is as a Zulu princess. And really the cultural heritage of where she comes from. That's when the idea sparked inside of my head. Then I started having recollections of my own grandmother, such a precious woman, you know. And my grandmother used to, you know, those days, I'm not sure if you used to have that, where if there's no electricity, which used to happen a lot in Las, you know, you sit there and then, even now, no electricity. And my grandmother used to use those opportunities like, okay, gather all the grandchildren, and then she starts telling us stories, right? We all used to look forward to those stories, right? Okay? You know, and all of these stories were quite interesting because there was a moral lesson behind them, right? And I believe that those stories and her telling me more about our cultural heritage, about who I am, is what shaped who I am today, right? And that's what sparked in my mind. There's that authentic connection between a grandmother and a grandchild, that they have such a wealth of knowledge and wisdom that they need to pass on to the future generation. And that is how Indilang was birthed.
Wow.
I just want to show you a video of our animation. Just a snippet.
Ake ngikufundise iculo ngenkanyezi eshwibekayo. Benye 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 inkanyezi encane. Benye 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 inkanyezi encane. Hauna sisi mama esabona inkanyezi. Hauna sisi mama esabona inkanyezi. Benye 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 inkanyezi encane. Benye 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 inkanyezi encane. Hauna sisi mama esabona inkanyezi. Hauna sisi mama esabona inkanyezi. Waze wacula kahle na mzukulu wami. Iculo ngikufundisa lona elithi benye benye.
That's my daughter and my mother, by the way. It's quite a special thing. So, progressing along the journey, then we had the opportunity to engage with mothers, just to find out what their take is. Were they feeling what I was feeling? That, you know, there's not enough content out there to expose our children to their lovely heritage. We've got lovely heritage, right? And there was a general view that there is not enough. There's not enough, and there's a cry out for us to actually make content that is relevant for our children to be proud of being Zulu, of being Xhosa, of being Venda. So that's when the plans sparked into action. So then I go along to my mother. My mother is a wonderful, dynamic, creative woman who has written books in her own right. And when I joined, when I spoke to her about the idea, I said, Mom, let's start something. No matter how small it is, let's just start something that will change the way our children view themselves. And then my mom was like, yes, let's do this thing. Let's start this project. And we obviously had to back it up, right? So we both went into our savings, because if you believe in something enough, you better back it up, right? How else would people believe it if you yourselves don't back it up? So we pulled all our savings. Then we were like, okay, we're gonna tap into the resources that we have. So my mom writes beautiful content herself. So we started by writing content in Zulu. Then we decided, let's also tap in to the knowledge base and the skills base of young African talented artists. And this would be an opportunity for them also just to grow their skills. And also, there's something about an artist who is an African who can interpret what you are trying to say, right? Some people cannot really just capture that thing. And I found that with the artists that we were engaging with, they were able to capture the essence of what we were trying to put across. So we then decided we were going to put out a pilot product. And in looking at putting a pilot product, we faced a lot of challenges. Now, as you can imagine, we were getting into the animation space, and the animation space is tough. The mainstream industry players charge an arm and a leg for their services. And that could have been a stumbling block for us and say, well, we can't do this, this is where we stop. But then we said, no, let's build up the capability within our business. Let's tap into these resources of these young, talented Black artists and see where we can take the project. But we found, obviously with our young, Black, talented artists, is that time was a factor. Some of them are doing work, to support themselves, to sustain themselves for a living. Some of them are studying, but it meant that we needed to be patient, patient with them, sometimes meeting after hours, sometimes meeting weekends, but we persevered because we knew what we wanted. We knew what the end result is that we wanted. And so we did. We persevered with these amazing artists, and we came out with our proud products that are now online and that are also now in print. So I wanted to play you another one of our songs. This one, I hope you know.
Neonale konyana, 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 neonale konyana, eboya bobuswe, yakitlaka sikolo, 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 yakitlaka sikolo, nyase isabana, misi atibela, tibela.
So, who knew that we have our own version of Mary Had a Little Lamb? Okay? Did you know? Now you know, right? And you've got the CDs today, so you must buy them and go teach your children our version of Mary Had a Little Lamb, right? So, who are we? Who are we as Indilang, and what do we do? So we are an indigenous content platform, right? And we produce products in both digital and print, right? And we produce products like animations, songs, stories, teachers' guides, and we are actually looking to produce learners' workbooks as well. So our target market is children from early learning years. And we are aiming to grow our reach to reach high school ages as well, right? So we want to address the need to preserve culture, right? And present authentic material that our children can look at themselves and be proud that I am a Zulu, I am a Xhosa, and be able to share with other children. Isn't that nice feeling where, like I remember when I was in university studying engineering, and you'd meet a Zulu. It just used to spark that thing in you. Because you're always talking English, and you're always talking, and you're like, you miss that. And I knew that this project was going to spark that thing, that authentic connection with who we are, right? And so we really believe that this project is going far beyond what we even imagine. So So the kind of products that Indilang produces, we see them as interlinked, right? We didn't think about developing our products in isolation. Why? We just had foresight that we need to produce products that can also address the need in our schools, for early childhood development curriculum, to aid our teachers to be able to, make the classroom come alive for the learners. It's so sad, when I think about teachers. I mean, my mom was a teacher, my grandmothers were teachers, my father was a teacher, and it's so sad to see the plight of how our teachers are struggling because they don't have the tools to be able to teach these kids effectively. And that's where we feel that the products that we have will be able to assist the teacher to be able to really help the children understand their languages and really understand their heritage. And also, we saw our products as a way of, establishing that connection in the home, right? Some of the times we do things in our home and we're like, okay, here's a tab, watch a TV, and it causes that disconnect between us and our children. And we believe that the way we've designed our products, it will help establish that connection between the parents and the children, and just that love of our heritage, that love of our culture. And then we also thought far beyond that to say our products can also be used by corporates, right? For corporate social investment aspects or initiatives, right? Because as they're going out to communities, it's not enough that they're painting a house or planting a garden. It's not enough. We want more. We want our children to be impacted, so they can even use this material to be able to, enhance communities and really have these children view themselves in a better light, right? So we've had a very interesting journey with Indilang, and when we were just also reviewing where exactly do we see ourselves going, where is it? What is the long-term projection of Indilang? We were like, you know what? We would love our company not just to grow, but we want to have to make collaborations with other African countries. And that's important because indigenous knowledge across the African continent is very essential and it's very key. So we want to also create what we call live communities for which indigenous knowledge will be able to be shared. And also create an opportunity and a space for our children to experience different cultures. So they're not just stuck in Johannesburg as a Xhosa or a Zulu or a Venda, but they can go out there, go there to experience what Swahili is about, all of that. That's what we want our children to be enriched so that they can be full people, develop fully because of their experiences. So we also saw this as a potential unifier. We come from different backgrounds, different cultures, different languages, but it's so amazing that the human journey is the same for all of us. It doesn't matter where we come from, but the human experiences are all unique and the same for all of us. So I just wanted to also share, I'm part of the Lionesses of Africa Digital Accelerator Program, and my experience being in that program has put me here today. And it's really stretched the way I think about business, the way I'm thinking about where the business is going, and really I see amazing women, like we are in an amazing network of women who really are doing great things in their respective industries, and I really believe will have a large impact to where they are going. So if you do have the opportunity for next year, please join the Digital Accelerator Program. It's really, really, really awesome. And in closing, I just want to inspire you ladies. Dare to dream big. It doesn't help for us to dream small. dare to dream big and follow through with those ideas. And as with any journey, right, you will encounter challenges, which we have. But you need to be able to have the faith to push yourself. To push yourself through those challenging times where it's like, okay, there's no money. Now, how do we take the project forward? There's always going to be something that will actually propel you to the next level. And then bring people around you that will help take you to the next level. You know, your destiny helpers. It doesn't help being around people who are always complaining. Who are always complaining. Here you have an amazing dream, you're like, oh, but how are you going to? It will never happen, You know, leave those people behind and pair up with people who will actually take you to the next level. I also had the opportunity a couple years back to sit in a Lionesses of Africa event. And at that event, it was Margaret Hirsch who was actually doing the presentation. And there was something that she said in that presentation that actually dropped a seed in me. And that seed actually grew to where we are today. Thank you, ladies, for giving us that.